to day 15. 15. It is Tuesday the 15th of December, which means it is the 15th day of Vlogmas. Why, Jessica, that's a fairly unattractive angle you've got going on today. Well, friends, in the time that it took me to not film for 3 days, it seems that I have misplaced the footy that goes on the bottom of my camera to attach onto my tripod. So right now you're just sitting on some holiday decorations. You look very festive. This was really sparked by me showing my boyfriend the first episode of an incredibly underappreciated TV show nowadays that is the Vicar of Dibley. So today I'm going to be recommending some of my kind of childhood favorite TV shows. However, these all have the slight tinge of being old British shows that I grew up with. Something with all of these shows is that they are from like the 90s, so everything is a little bit dated, but I think that is a lot of the charm of a lot of these shows, is that it is very obvious it is an older show. But it doesn't matter in the situation because it's not political, it's not, you know, of the times necessarily, but general things can seem a little bit dated, but the character interactions are timeless. So I have got 5 older TV shows that I still think are really good. So I'm going to start with one that I think is maybe a little bit less accessible to kind of my generation. And that is As Time Goes By, starring Judi Dench. So it's starring like a big name, you know who she is. So it's a show about a guy and a girl who knew each other before the war, when they were young. They were separated during the war because he went off to fight in the war and I think she was a nurse. And they were separated and they met other people, they married other people, they had families and lives, and then when they're older, they reconnect and they find each other again. And it's very sweet. It is a little bit on the slower side. It's kind of like Seinfeld, where the show is about nothing. The next one that I'm going to talk about is probably also a little bit less accessible, and it's Ab Fab, or Absolutely Fabulous. And that is a show basically about a mom and a daughter who are very, very different. The mom is very much a partier, she's a fashion person. The daughter is very studious and I think grown up. I think she's either in high school or college when the TV show takes place. The shenanigans that the mom gets into. The comedy is a little bit more accessible in this because it is very obvious comedy. In As Time Goes By, it is humorous, but it is a little bit more, you know, subdued. So we're now going to get into some of the more accessible, funnier to most people types of shows. And the first one I'm going to talk about is Keeping Up Appearances. It's basically kind of a keeping up with the Joneses. She's kind of trying to remind everybody how perfect her life is and how extremely, you know, classy she is. And so it's about her being like that and how everybody around her reacts to that. It's just fun because everybody's very nice, but they don't like her very much. She's not a very likable person. She's trying to uphold this image of having this perfect family, and her father is a little bit wacko. So now I wanted to talk about one of my favorites on the list. This is probably, I don't know, maybe my favorite, and that is The Vicar of Dibley. And it's starring Dawn French, and if you have watched Harry Potter, that is who plays the fat lady. So The Vicar of Dibley is basically about a little tiny town called Dibley. So their old vicar dies, and so they need a new one. So somebody comes in, and basically the parish council, which is in a sense like a homeowners association, they kind of have to approve things and they take minutes and all this sort of stuff. So the parish is expecting this guy to come in and be like a fabulous new vicar and really gonna change things. So, as you may expect, Dawn French actually plays the vicar, and she is obviously a woman, and they are not super keen on that at first. But everybody in the town seems to really like her, much to the kind of dismay of the head of the parish, who is kind of the guy that you don't want to like, but you like him anyway because everybody on the show is kind of likable. It is incredibly dry humor, but if you're like me and you like English comedy, then the dry humor is something that you're really going to appreciate. And I think that if any of these shows I want you to try The Vicar of Dibley. It shows it's aged less, I think, than most of these shows. Final one, and probably the one that everybody is going to find funny, is Fawlty Towers, which stars John Cleese, which, as everybody knows who John Cleese is. He's also in Harry Potter, actually. He's nearly Headless Nick. Fawlty Towers is about a family who own a hotel. It's John Cleese, so it's hilarious and very like Monty Python-esque, because he obviously was part of Monty Python. So it's very much that kind of humor, and I think that is a humor that a lot of people appreciate. I realized very recently that a lot of my TV shows growing up were kind of old British sitcoms. They probably weren't even that old when I was growing up. I think Keeping Up Appearances ran when I was born until I was 5, so they weren't that old. I hope everybody is enjoying their December. We are like halfway through the month now. We've got 10 days left of Vlogmas, and I hope you are enjoying it. I will talk to you all very soon. I'm going to film my cat playing with tinsel because it's really cute. I will see you guys later. Goodbye.